Hi, welcome to another episode of Being Phenomenal. My name is Cornelia Koki-Jemfi and I'm super excited to have you here with me today. If you're new to this channel, please take some time to subscribe and follow us on our social media platforms so that we can continue to build this community further. I don't want you to miss out on any content that we put out on this page, so let's continue to grow together and be phenomenal together. On today's episode of Being Phenomenal, we continue our conversation on my 20s, my expectations versus my reality. I realize that oftentimes as young Christian women, we don't get to tell our stories as young as we are. We wait till we are old, we wait till we have gone through this phase of life, and at some point, if no one actually asks us, we don't talk about it. But I believe that there are lots of us that will draw inspiration from each other's story, and that is the reason for this conversation today. And so today I'm going to be joined by a very good friend of mine. I've known her since like 2010. Last time I saw her was when we graduated high school. We have both not changed very much, but as life would have it, we have both gone through some experiences in life that I believe that we can share with everyone to inspire them. That is the reason for this conversation today. So I encourage everyone to stay tuned till the end of this conversation. With me here today is Wilhemina Welbeck. She's going to introduce herself to us in a bit. But Mina, thank you so much for agreeing to have this conversation with me today. I understand that it would not be easy to want to tell your story to everyone else, but I believe that's going to help some young lady out there to find some sort of inspiration. So thank you once again, and you're welcome to Being Phenomenal. I know you, but for those who don't know you, just kindly introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, my name is Wilhemina Welbeck. I'm in St. Mary's University. I'm studying International Development Studies and French. I love shopping, I love clothes, I'm a calm person, I'm quiet, I'm reserved, and I'm mostly just in my own space most of the time.
Yeah, she's mostly in her own space. So I was actually very happy when she agreed to do this with me because she's usually in her own space. So Mina, how would you describe your journey by far as a young Christian woman?
It's been interesting and it's been amazing. It's not always easy. There are days will be difficult to pick up a Bible or even to pray, but then at the end of the day, Jesus is like the ultimate goal.
What have been some defining moments in your journey by far? This is something that really happened and you're like, this like totally changed the course of my life.
For me, it was losing my dad because he was everything. I used to look up to him. Like, you told me, oh, Mina, you look like your mom. I go like, I look like my dad, like weddings everywhere. It was just like me and him. Like, so just like losing him, it was like so painful. And it was a day after New Year's. So like we had plans and I was supposed to come to Canada then. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna take you here, we'll do this. Like, those last final things, but then he just passed, no sickness, nothing, and I was just angry at God. I was like, God, why would you do this to me? Like, the one person, like, I'm trying to make him so proud, and like, he just take him away from me. I was angry, became so depressed, so sad, like, it was horrible. Till I came here, it was still the same thing, and I started going to church, and through that, like, you meet people that will like encourage you and talk to you. So like bit by bit, I started to grow, and I'm trying to let certain things go. Like, I'm healing from it, but there are days I still miss him. But that's life.
Thank you for sharing that, and I'm sorry about all that you went through. And listening to you and hearing what you've gone through, as a human being and losing someone so valuable in your life, the human thing to do would be to try and fill the void, with some other person or some other thing, and also as you weren't even closer to God at that point in time because you were mad at him, for taking this person away from you. So what did you do in that space to try and fill up the void, and did it work?
Whatever I did to fill the void didn't work. It was like a relationship, which didn't work because most of the time I was either sad, just in my space, just in my corner. So like, it just didn't work. It was like I was rather adding more hurts, like more fire to my head. So it was just.
You mentioned that you came to Halifax, you started fellowshipping at this church, and then people started helping you, and that's how you started healing. I have been at a place where I wasn't in a very good spot, and then people tried to help me, but I was a little bit opposed to the help that was coming, because first of all, I didn't even think there was even something wrong with me to begin with. Did you realize that you were doing that at some point? Did you realize that maybe you're opposed to the help that your friends were trying to render? Something of the sort?
Yeah, like, or I prefer to like be in bed and like go to church, like. And it was like, I think I was really talking to some people because I was like, oh, maybe like let's go to church, like let's do this, like that kind of thing. So I was just like, nah.
So at what point did you realize that, you know what, I have to let go of all this and then just let those who want to help me help me?
So it was Christmas Day, I think. I went out and I was coming back. So one of my friends dropped me, and I'm so thankful for her. So she was talking to me, and she was like, there's normally like this retreat that she would want me to go for. I was so reluctant about it because I was like, I don't have the money to pay for it. So I was like, we'll see. So when the time was near, I was like, let me just go and try and see like what it's about. And through the retreat, I was able to let go of a lot of things, and I'm really thankful for that friend. I always say this, like, I'm really thankful for her.
Oh, we're thankful for you, friend, as well. Okay, and we're talking about my 20s, my expectations versus my reality. You and I are the same age, or around the same age, and I would think that before coming into your 20s, you would have had some expectations of how you want your 20s to look like. I had an actual list of how I wanted my 20s to look like. I believe that everyone had either a mental list or whatever of some sort. Did you have something like that?
Oh yeah, I had a list. Like, I was even someone. I was like, oh, by 25, 26, I'm married. By 30, I'm done giving birth. I'll be working my dream job. That was my list. But now I'm still like in school. I'm just trying to achieve my goal for me, like right now, which is like working on my dream job. So that list, I threw that list away.
And does that in some way tell you that we usually would have our plans, we usually would have things that we want to do with our lives, but God just has a way of taking us off course and still bringing us on course some way, somehow?
Yeah, like He always has a plan for you. I mean, He always does. He's the one who created you. He said He knew you before you were born. So it's just like, to Him, your lists are like your wants, not what He wants for you. So He's going to do what He thinks is best for you. Because at that point, you might think, oh, getting this at this age is like so perfect for me. But to Him, it's not. I'll say like some people have it like everything figured out in their 20s, but then not everyone.
That's actually rare to have people who have like everything figured out in their 20s. I've come to realize that like this is just a point in our lives where we are being weaned off the people that were responsible for us. So there's a phase in which we get to make all the mistakes, we get to make all the wrong decisions, and some way somehow still have to figure out life all at once. So there's just really a lot going on for us right now. Yes. And so those were your expectations. I think you kind of already touched on the next question I wanted to ask, but I just wanted to also still ask, so what has been your reality? Your expectation was to get married by 25, 26, be working your dream job by 30, you're done popping out all the children. But what is your reality right now? What are you living right now?
My reality is I'm still in school, trying to get my degree, go to work. I mean, it hasn't been easy. Like, I wouldn't lie, it hasn't been. Every day is another story, every day is another issue. But then by the grace of God, I'm able to go through, and sometimes even before I need something, it has already been provided, which is good. Which is good, yeah. So like that's what my life, like my reality is: school, work, come home, eat, sleep, do assignments.
There are times where I believe you really feel down, you really feel bad for yourself. How do you get through those bad days? What do you do to pick up yourself and say that this is just a bad day, it's not a bad one?
I cry a lot. I cry. I go to my mommy, like she's the only person who understands, who like knows like everything about me. So I go to her and she'll try and encourage me. I go to previous messages that people have sent me about not giving up. Everything is working together for my good, and I just read those and I just try to remember all the promises and all the prophecies. I just try to remember all those things and hold on to all those things.
You just try to remember what God has said to you previously, so you just say, God, I'm just reminding myself that He said this and I'm holding on to that. I'm reminding you told me this in case you forgot it. Okay. And if you could write a letter to 16-year-old Mina, what would that letter say?
Girl, just don't worry. Don't worry. I believe everything will work together for our good. Just look unto God. He's the creator of everything. Work on your relationship with the Holy Spirit. Don't do something because someone is doing this. Please don't compare yourself to others. Everyone's story is different. Everyone's journey is different. Hold the people you love so close. And just continue being yourself.
Mina, you make me cry. So, you mentioned do not compare yourself in your notes to younger Mina, which I find very profound, because we live in a time and age where society places so much pressure on us, on individuals, to want to be like other people. So you look at your age mates, they're getting married, they're starting ministries, they're starting businesses, you're starting blah blah blah, and you're not at that point yet. So unconsciously you tend to compare yourself with other people. How would you deal with that?
Well, everyone is unique. God has placed something unique in everyone. You have something unique. I do have something unique. And sometimes you find that like the person you're comparing yourself to, the person wishes that, oh, maybe if I had this thing that Mina had, it will make me whole, it will make me complete. So it's like society just makes it think like, oh, you're supposed to have your everything figured out. You're supposed to have this, you're supposed to have that. But then God is the author, the creator and finisher of everything. So if He says I'm going to make you pass this course, you can't change it. Even if you take a shortcut, you still be on the course that God is telling you to be on. And I feel like when it happens like that and like you start comparing yourself, you lose yourself, and it's like going back to your maker, going back to your to God becomes hard, because it's like you've compared just that you don't even know yourself like anymore.
You said that when you compare yourself with other people, you tend to lose yourself, and once you lose yourself, you really you're not even sure what course you have to take in life, because you're just there looking at this person, looking at that person, you're just looking at so many things around you, and once you're looking around you, you're not focusing on you, and if you're not focusing on you, then there's no growth, because you're not pouring into yourself. You're rather wasting your precious time looking at what other people are doing with their lives, and that should not be the case. And what keeps you going with everything that we've spoken about right now, all the challenges, everything? What keeps you going?
God keeps me going. My mom, my sister, my nephew. Like having friends who believe in you. Oh my God, it's amazing. Like even when you want to give up, they are always there telling you, "Mina, you can make it." That's what keeps me going.
Is there any Bible verse that you like to say to yourself that reminds you of your journey in life?
I mostly use Jeremiah 29:11 and Habakkuk 3:19. God the Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the deer's, and he makes me tread on my higher places. Then the verse that talks about we are fearfully and wonderfully made. I knew you in your mother's womb before you were born. And the story of Joseph really inspires me like a lot.
Finally, Mina, how would you define a phenomenal woman?
I'm someone who puts her trust in God. She believes that everything will work together for her good. She puts God first, her priorities. She places everything in God's hands before she even thinks of taking a step. That's what I think.
Thank you so much for having this conversation with me today, for being so open, for being so honest, and for being so vulnerable. Thank you. Well, thank you so much for watching another episode of Being Phenomenal. My name is Cornelia, and today I was joined by the phenomenal Wilhemina Welbeck. Take some time to subscribe, and don't forget that your worth is far above rules.
Ooh.